Hello everyone, my name is Zhilin Huang and you may call me Christian. Today my topic title is about formal and dynamic equivalence and the principle of equivalent effect, which is used in the specific game for the further research. This is a Black Miss Wukong, and I am a Master of Arts in Chinese translation and interpreting. So first, this is my today's content. So first is the background of my topic, and second is aims and research methods. Third is neither and neither theory, formal and dynamic equivalence, and principle of equivalent effect. Fourth is the example translation for analyzing, and fifth is conclusion. Okay, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. The background. So first, today's game and the film industry is very developed, which also involves in translation, subtitle translation and text translation. Of course, you have maybe encountered with a lot of them. Second one is in the process of translation, the use of the appropriate series or methods can improve the effect and acceptance of translation. The last one is whether it is Chinese to translation or vice versa, the collision brought by different cultural backgrounds will also affect the translation effect. So it is worth studying for me. Then I will talk about my aims and research method. First, my aims. As a translator and interpreting learner, the translation industry needs to accumulate experience and finally get the output. And in the process of practice, such as studying the excellent translation works of peers, can improve one's translation ability. The most important thing is to supplement the research process with the corresponding research series, which can enable translation practitioners to have a clearer understanding of their work. My research direction is the interpretation and translation between Chinese and English, and I have a strong interest in games and movies. Whether it is translating English into Chinese or vice versa, I should play the role of bridge between the two languages. It is my duty. Then it's about my research methods. The evaluation of the target group is the best affirmation of the translation quality. So I use the following research methods to research my topic. First, it directly review the translated text by the target language group and collect the feedback reports. So it means I have to do an interview to multiple like native English speakers or gamers to let them review this game, let them review the game subtitle translation. Does they have the same feelings or effect, just like I reading the Chinese text, and do a data collection. Second one is compare multiple translated texts, which is about game and movies, extra. Then query the corresponding translation series, and finally conduct a comprehensive study. Before we go any further, I would like to introduce a famous linguist. His name is Eugene A. Nida. Mentioning Nida, this is the linguist that all translation practitioners cannot bypass. And his theory can be said to be widely used in various translations. In that scene, during my research, I found that subtitle translation for film and games perfectly fits his theory. So I chose it as my research direction. Then it's about another theory, formal and dynamic equivalence and the principle of equivalent effect. First, NIDA discarded the literal free and faithful translation and in favor of two basic orientation or types of equivalence. So the first part is formal equivalence, and the second part is dynamic equivalence. It's not a contrast. They are supplemented each other, and we could use them both in the translation process. So as you can see, this page, I chose a game called Black Miss Wukong to do my research. This is a Chinese game which is filled translated subtitle. As you can see from the pictures, it's a beautiful Chinese ancient culture. You can see there are a lot of Chinese text in the game that need to be translated into Chinese. So how to translate original text full of ancient Chinese characteristics and charms into English with the same effect to English speaking gamers become the top priority. And neither theory just makes up for this. This is equivalence theory. So this is about my research, and this game is not only material that I will research and study, but it is the most significant one to reintroduce. I highly recommend you to watch the full video, and you may understand what is the charm of language and the beautiful Chinese ancient culture. And this is also one of my aim to do this research because I want to promote the Chinese ancient culture to English speaking gamers or readers. I will put a video link in the description area, and thank you very much. That's all.